Well, here we go again, guys. I am back out in the shop after another 2 weeks off. I was homeschooling my kids. They go to a private school, but they shut down for 10 days to try and get some numbers down here in our county. I don't know if it worked. I don't know, but I had off 2 weeks. Not off. Had family leave. I played teacher for a couple of weeks, and honestly, it was awesome. It was great. But now we got to get back down to business. So a project that I'm working on that you guys have not seen is I may have mentioned it, 1967 Buick Skylark 2-door hardtop. Frame off restoration. You're looking at the last piece. This is the original hood off the car. Rust free as 98% of the other car, or the rest of the car is, maybe 95%. So story goes on this hood, it's original hood to the car. The owner of the car is helping me out tremendously by stripping the panels to bare metal. So whether it's chemical or dry strip or sandblasting edges, that kind of thing. So as of right now, and today is October 21st, 2nd maybe, it's a Wednesday, the entire rest of the car is back together, running, driving, front and rear glass back in it, doors are hung, lid is hung, fenders are hung, it's edged, and that was probably in like June-ish, maybe. I gave him the car back, he put it back together. The hood, as you see here, did not look that good before. What happened was, is the guy who owns a car, and it's not his fault, I would have done the exact same thing. He bought a water blaster attachment for his pressure washer and sandblasted or water blasted all the edges. The top this was all chemical stripped, just the edges, and the underside he water blasted, thinking, well, it shouldn't hurt anything, right? I've done the same thing. All the area where the webbing, let's see if I can peek under here, all the area where the webbing is, can't see nothing, I'm sure, all those areas, all warped. Bad. Really bad. To the point where you could take the hood and it would go bunga 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 anywhere, like bunga 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 bung bung bung, oil canned, the whole hood, everywhere on this, from this style line all the way up. Before that, the only damage on the hood was a cluster of dents here that had been filled, and a cluster of dents up here that had been filled. So, what's a guy to do? It's a 1 year only, one model only hood. 66 different, 65's different, 68's totally different body style. So, I purchased a shrinking disc, which I've never used before in my whole bodywork career. Shrinking disc. It's just a metal plate that basically builds heat, similar to a torch, but it's more controllable. And let me tell you, I got this thing pretty good. Perfect? No. No, not perfect. But it is to the point now where I've got my metal work as good as I can get it. There's going to be filler in it, no doubt, and I'm going to bring you along, full disclosure, the whole way. It will be body filler, or at least skimmed. and then blocked, and then we'll see where we're at, and we can adjust as we go. But my major thing was getting the oil canning out. And she is, well, there obviously is going to be a little bit there because there's nothing there. But otherwise, like everywhere you touch this thing, it was boonk, ba-boonk, ba-boonk, ba-boonk. So with the help of the shrinking disc, which I purchased on eBay for like 80 or 90 bucks, it paid for itself. I got about 4 hours, 6 hours in this hood to this point for metal work. Now, some guys I'm sure could get this metal finished perfect and no filler. I'm not that guy. But it will be very minimal amounts of filler. Very minimal. I believe that if there might be some areas on this hood that'll maybe have up to an eighth, maybe 3/16 of filler on it. Maybe that's too much. I can't help it. All right. This is as good as it's going to get. So in my anxiety of doing this to this hood, by complete stroke of luck, look at that. It's another 67 Buick Skylark hood off of a special. You can tell the difference because there's no trim holes down the middle. So it's off of a special. A GS would have hood scoops, which would be sweet, but that's not going to happen. So this was actually red, like barn red. I stripped all that off, but you can see, like, it's not great. It has lots of rust pitting from the paint crazed, the original paint being crazed. But getting that red paint off of there, I was able to give it more of a better feel of where I'm at. Now, the backside is really rusty. Very, very rusty. There's actually a couple of holes that would have to be patched. Overall, if I didn't have that, this would be a beaut. The price was right. For what he paid for it, it's worth it just to have a spare hood in case. He has hit a deer with this car before. So nobody reproduces a hood. Pretty sure this is probably the only 67 Buick Skylark hood anywhere near me. And it was from a yard that I go to often by chance. So I'm not gonna use this hood. I am gonna go forward with this hood at this point. If I get into doing the body work on this thing and it just ends up being a complete disaster, well, then we'll plan C part B. But it looks good like it is. This is all rough now. I took what did I use? 36 on the mud hog, roughed it all up after I went over it with a 60 grit flap disc. Just cleaned it really good. It's it's bare. So I don't have any body filler here, or not enough. So I'm gonna skim coat this first with some short strand fiberglass, and then we'll see where I'm at, and then we'll go with lightweight, Evercoat lightweight, and then we'll probably prime. So I'm hoping to maybe have this in first round epoxy and 2K maybe by this time next week. I want to get this car painted yet before, sometime in November or sooner. Well, November is not that far away. Sometime before December, let's say, because then I have a 76 Corvette that I'm doing bumpers on, and then there's so much to do on so many different things. I'm gonna have to find a place to put my wagon because it's obviously not gonna fit in here. So my pickup might have to sit outside for the winter. Whatever, don't care. It's got electric start and power and heated seats and steering wheel, so I don't care. So this hood I am still planning to at some point strip to bare metal on the top, just the top, and just seal it with epoxy. I'll maybe pin some of the bigger dents out of it. There's a couple whacks. She got a good whack in it there, and there, up here. This is the nastiest one. But that'll all pin out. And the hood itself is solid as far as, like, there's no rust through that I've found so far. And it's this hood is, I would have to say, it's probably straighter in some respects, but with the amount of work it's going to take to make this hood bare metal, like this hood, both sides, I'll have 8 hours in this hood just to get it to look like that, and then still have to do body work. So still is a good score to get the hood itself, but I am going to move forward with this hood at this point, unless something really goes sideways. But I feel like I think I can make it work, and the owner of the car understands what I'm dealing with, and he understands that it was, you know, it shit happens, you know. The top of the car is going to be silver, so that will play in my favor. It shouldn't show as many, you know, ripples, but I'm not worried about it being straight. I'm just worrying about it being solid and being, I don't want the repair to fail. So typically I would spray this in epoxy and then do body work. I'm going to do the body work and then epoxy, only because I really want to make sure that this filler has a good strong bite to that 36 grit. Now granted, I've never had any issues with body filler coming off of epoxy, but the hood is not a panel that I want to even take a chance with, because it's going to see heat and cold, and it's going to be opening and closing, so there's going to be stresses on it. I want it to have the best bite it can possibly have. If I scrounge up some 24 grit, I might go over it one more time before I put body filler on it. So, I don't know, I'm probably a wreck, I don't care. So that is another update here. I'm going to try and rename my channel, a separate thing, but I'm going to try and rename it. I don't know if that's even possible or not, but I want to go with Vintage Revival. When I started this channel, I had really no intentions of putting videos on it, so I just kind of picked a generic whatever name, so it's Matthew A78. Well, that's kind of lame. Watching all these guys who got, you know, D&D Speed Shop and Mr. Heavy Chevy and, you know, all these really cool shows, all these really cool channels out there, they have an actual, you know, a catchy tagline, a catchy title. Not that I want to be famous or anything, but I think Vintage Revival suits what I do and suits who I am and the lifestyle that I lead and what I do here. So there we go. I'll give you a little peek of other things that have wandered into my shop. That's sweet. And then I'm thinking these must be Westerns. These might end up on the front of my wagon with some chromy-verse on the back. I don't know. They're 14s. They're bias ply. Tire's got to go. It's too bad because they're actually perfect, but I digress. Okay, that's it. You'll be seeing this video within a couple days, and by then I'll maybe have some more videos ready. So let's see if I can get a nice shot here. Maybe I can get this as a thumbnail, huh? Maybe. There. That'd be a good thumbnail, huh? Alright. See you guys. Thanks for letting me carry on. We'll see you next time.